On barley, his body was built out of expanded metal and antenna wire, and now bulk is being added to that shape using tin foil. So put on in sections that have some airspace in it to give it volume, and then I go over it and we'll add a single layer to smooth out all of the little puffs of tin foil. 500 sheets, so I'd say probably 800 sheets of this tin foil will be used. The first layer of PalTiya product, that is a clay-like product that cures like concrete, and it does cure as hard as concrete, but also like concrete, 30-day curing time, and very strong. It with our hands to get it to this consistency to start covering the tin foil armature. Barbara Liss, Montana Bliss Artworks. Thanks for joining me in the concrete sculpting studio today as I show you how I am going to mix up a small batch of PalTiya, which is how I'm working. Even though it's a 9-foot dragon, the scales are very time consuming, and only mixing 1 cup of product at a time keeps it at the right moisture content for me to work. Looks just like Portland cement, but do you see all the little fibers in it? That's what makes it strong. And 1/3 of a cup of water. And I'm going to cover this until it's not powder flying around. So at this point, it's still fairly dry. So see how crumbly it is? It's got to stick together. There's heat on in here. Air is drier, and so it takes more moisture. You can see it's forming a ball. And yes, this is an old KitchenAid mixer. I had to, when I got this used, it had a hook, but it didn't have this paddle, which is really what it takes to mix this. So if this is a little too moist, I can just dip this whole ball into the bag of PalTiya to pick up some dry. But I'm doing scales on the dragon, and I really need it a little softer to work with. So I am going to leave it at this consistency. I'm varying the scales a lot on this dragon just for interest. So I've gone from these big scale looking ones to smaller ones on his leg. I've pre-wet the surface so that it will accept this new layer. So I'm going to lay these on here, and then I'm going to come back with a sculpting tool and give them a little more definition. Today, Farley's scales, upright scales, down his back are starting to get covered. Wire mesh covered with tin foil, tapered, more tin foil to give them a little more bulk where they attach. This is a scratch coat, a plastic fork to make the scratches for the second layer.
Studio of Montana Bliss. He's a masterpiece, extremely sublime, created in the studio during several months of time. Now amongst colorful balls and a friendly rabbit nearby, he looks quite content, a real happy guy. With his large, toothy grin and his scaly physique, the interest of passers-by he surely shall pique.